Hello everyone! Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Hi, Liz here. I really hope you're doing fine. Today, as you've seen in the title, we're talking about the 25 books I want to read in 2025. Let's say it was quite hard for me to tackle 25 books because I'm pretty much a mood reader. But for this list, I thought, think about books you wanted to read this year and you didn't have time for it. You didn't find the physical book, or you just didn't have time to read it. And I was like, okay, managed to get 25 books. Some of them are, some of them are quite harder to read, others are easier, smaller. But we're going to get through them. This is going to be a very short video because I like to go into books blindly. So I literally know the name of them and that's it. I know their name and maybe I know who the author is because they just wrote something I read. That's basically that. I also just want to talk goals. This is my reading journal. Wow. On my reading journal, I said I wanted to read 60 books. My Goodreads challenge is going to be 50. It's going to be 50 because I feel like it. Like, if I get 60 is my ultimate goal, but like my Goodreads goal is going to be 50 because work, you know? It's not all about reading. Life has other things. I already made my 25 books in 2025 page. Very incomplete. Like, literally, it only has the names of the books. In here, I'm going to put like opinions, my favorites, statistics, how much I read every month, you know, how many of those I read every month. In here, on my side, I have my TBR that already has a few of those books that I want to read, and also as other ones that I want to get through the next year, but they're just not in this 25 books in 2025. So this year I tried to think queer because as a bisexual person, I feel like I don't read as much queer literature as I can. So I thought, like, my main things were, I want some queer things. I don't think I have here queer writers. Maybe I do, because I don't know anything about writers. I just like go through it and I'm like, yay. But some of these are recommendations by my favorite YouTubers. Like, they're a bit of a mess. But let's start. I'll go through the order that I wrote here. Basically, the first book I want to read is Just Kids by Patti Smith. I think she's I don't know the writers of the other ones. I won't say the names of the writers because I'll forget. And I'll mess up the names. I want to read this simply because my teacher literally told me, hey, you guys should read Just Kids. It's literally amazing. And he kept showing us Patti Smith videos and interviews and everything. So, I might read this one this year. I'm very excited. I've seen the book physically and I want to buy it because I know I'm going to be annotating it like crazy. A friend of mine even said that if I wanted, he would lend me the book, but I was like, no, babe, I wanna write on this thing. The other book I want to read is Almonds. It's a Korean book. I've heard a bit about it, but if you ask me what it is about, I don't know. I don't really know. But the cover's really nice. Yeah, I'm the type of person who will read a book by its cover. So, yeah, not much to say about Almonds. I know a bit of the start about this boy and something going on, but I also don't know much and I don't want to know. The other book I want to read is a graphic novel called Genderqueer, and I cannot find it anywhere. I have downloaded it on my iPad because I went to the bookstore. Back in the day, like 3 months ago, they had it in Portuguese. That bookstore closed. I went to 10 other bookstores and they don't have it. And I'm like, where can I find you? I want to read it in either English, like the one I have downloaded is in Portuguese, but I can't read it in Portuguese because my Heartstopper is all in Portuguese, like everything. I don't mind it. Where are you, girl? Where are you? And the physical book, the company I usually buy my books, was the physical. No, the ebook of this book was really expensive in Portuguese, and I was like, no, we're not going to do that. So we're going to read it on my iPad if I don't find it physically. That's life. Then, this is such a crazy order of things. Then we have Ghosted, which I just know is a romance between an actor and like girly pop, and it's second chance. And I'm only going to read it because Sarah Caroli hasn't shut up about this book. Like, it's in every single one of her favorites lists, and I'm like, I might give it a chance because I really want to get into more romance and like find the type of romance I like, because I don't think I'm there yet. So let's go. Let's read Ghosted. Okay, this next one, I know absolutely 3 things about it, and I won't say them, but it's Sunburn. And for some reason, this has to be read in the summer. Don't even come at me for that. Didn't find the physical book yet. Will tackle it because I want that. I want that to sit on my shelf. Like, you have to sit on my shelf. Okay? That's it. And it's Sunburn. Sunburn is just gonna be insane, and I feel like I'm gonna cry. So, yay! Next one is a part of a series, and it's The Raven Boys. Everybody has been talking about The Raven Boys, and since I read All for the Game, I haven't read the last book yet, but I have a video on my channel reading the first one on a only reading Kindle books, and second one completing the trilogy. I haven't read the last one because I feel like I'm gonna cry, so I'm holding that. But yeah, The Raven Boys, just know a bit found family, I would guess. The next book is also found family, but it's a duology, and it's Six of Crows. I'm so excited for this one. Like, I went to the library last week, 2 weeks ago, and I was like, okay, let me check if they have Six of Crows, and they only had a really ugly version with people on it, and I was like, no, I'm gonna wait. I can wait. 2025, it's long. I can wait. But I'm really excited for that one because found family, and I just cannot wait. Found family, let's go. My favorite trope. Then, oh my god. Then we have the first book I have on my TBR, physical TBR, and it's The Perks. It's so far away you could never watch. You can never see. Okay, Tom. You could never see that. Okay, first book. Why are you open? First book that I have that it's on my physical TBR, and it's The Perks of Being a Wallflower. I have been putting this book down because I wanted to make a video where I basically compare book to movie to book, whatever. And I don't know if you guys would like it. So if you would, you may leave me a comment saying, yes, please do it. And I'll do it. Or I'll just read it in a reading vlog. Then, I wrote here, Anxious People by Frederick Backman. And I have Beartown here. And I thought that I would go through Beartown this year. But honestly, I don't think I have enough time because this December is a lot of work, a lot of things to do. The year is almost ending, and I have 3 books I really want to read. And maybe Beartown will go through January. But the one I have on my list is Anxious People, which I've only heard good things about, so I'm really excited for that one. Then we have another book I want to read in the summer. Why? I don't know, but I know it will fit the vibe. And it's Milk Fed. Milk Fed is going to be insane. I just know it. It's either going to be a 3-star or a 5-star. Like, I don't put it lower than that. But I'm excited for that one. I've read the synopsis and I'm like, yay! I feel like I'm gonna like that one. Then we have another YouTube recommendation, and it is Daisy Jones and the Six. I was watching a girl on YouTube, I don't know her name, I'm sorry, but I was watching a video of a girl that popped up on my explore page on YouTube, and she was like, this is the best, I've watched the show, it's the best, I love it. And I like the way it's written because it's like an interview, and I'm gonna have so much fun because I already love Taylor Jenkins Reid. I've read Carrie Soto is Back, Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, and this one is going to be the next one. They have it in my local bookstore, but the version they have there, like, they only have one book of her, and I feel like no one buys it because I've been going there for the past 3 months, and it's still there, the same book, in the same place. So, but it is a bit, like, the pages are not crooked and everything, so I'm thinking about just ordering it online. Next book we have is Giovanni's Room. Do I need to say anything? Jack, the guy from BookTube, I feel like he's always, like, every video I see of him, he's going to mention something about this book. So, I'm gonna read Giovanni's Room, and I feel like I'm gonna cry again. The next one is a book I'm super excited for, and I've been for years, and I feel like now it's going to be the time because she won the Nobel Prize. Han Kang, my queen. I want to read The Vegetarian. I was between The Vegetarian or Greek Lessons because they all seem so good, and I'm like, which one should I choose? But since The Vegetarian won the Nobel Prize, I think I should put that as a priority. So that's the one here. Then I have a bisexual book. I don't know if it's true or not, but that's all people recommended to me said. So it's You Exist Too Much. The cover looks nice. It's a bit of purple, blue, green, I think, if I remember correctly. Looks nice. Has a bisexual, period. I think I'm gonna love it. Then we have two Neely Nova, aka Lexi. It's the other way around, but okay. Recommendations, because I'm always watching her YouTube videos. She is amazing. And basically, she recommended Vicious. It's Vicious and Vengeful. It's like 2 books. I put only Vicious because, we don't have time to read that much. But I feel like I'm gonna love Vicious for some reason. And then, I think this is her top favorite book, or it was a few months ago, and it was Tomorrow, Tomorrow, Tomorrow. Every person I've met here in Portugal has read this book. It's impossible. The other day I was working in a film, and I was just talking like, oh yeah, I bought new bookshelves, mine were, I didn't have any, and now I have one. It's really cool. And the girl was like, oh my god, you like reading? Yeah. And she was like, yeah, I love Our Supper and everything. I just read the best book in my life, and it was Tomorrow, Tomorrow, Tomorrow. And I was like, I need to read that. So that is a goal for next year. And the book that just got here, this morning, it's The Invisible Life of Hattie LaRue. I've seen everyone raving about that book and saying this is the best. I've seen thousands of TikToks on my For You page talking about this book, talking about this godly main character, and I know this is gonna be sad. I know, I just know, and I'm gonna love it. I feel like I'm gonna love it. But you guys have to stay tuned for my reading vlogs, because I feel like all these books will be in reading vlogs, or if not, they will be in the end of the year big review, end of the year. Okay, the next book also have the physical book, and it is A Little Life. Do you see how big this book is? This Little Life was a soft DNF for me because I read 100 pages and I was like, I'm not stable enough to read this book. I need to sit down for a week and read this book fully. I'm someone who suffers with chronic illness. I'm someone who suffers with chronic pain. So I was feeling a bit too personal with our main character, and I was like, calm down for a bit. Just for a bit. Let's calm down. But this is a book I need to get through next year. Like, for sure. I'm going to have another surgery next year. Maybe that's going to be the perfect time to read A Little Life and be like, twin, I know. But yeah, I know what happens in the book. Like, I literally know. And I want to watch the play. Because there's a play, and I hope people recorded the play for me to watch it, because I'll be very sad if I don't find it. The next book. Where are you? Okay, the next book is Conversations with Friends, which is here. And you probably cannot see it because it's too fucking far away. But I'm a Sally Rooney apologist. I like normal people. But you know what I like more than normal people? Beautiful World, Where Are You? I know people rave about that book saying, it's the worst. I hated it. That's their worst book. No, it's not. No, it's not. No. I'm reading Intermezzo as I'm recording this video. And I've read 112 pages. I stopped. It's been 3 weeks since I stopped. And now it's time to get back into it, because I finally have time to read a bit. And I feel like Intermezzo is a very different book from the other two that I've read from her. And I feel like Intermezzo is her big thing. Like, I feel like that's her, dare I say, it's going to be her best book. I don't know yet. Maybe when you're watching this video, I already uploaded the reading vlog where I'm reading it for. It's an end of the year reading vlog. But it's a bit insane to think about it. Like, ever since she announced she was going to get Intermezzo out, I was like, this is going to be my book. I'm going to adopt this as my child. But yeah, it's been sitting down a bit. But the book I want to read next year is Conversations with Friends. The same person that recommended me Giovanni's Room also said that they loved Conversations with Friends. So, okay, what a difference, but a nice one. By the way, I have watermelon socks, just so you know. Okay, now we only have a few books. I have Babel. Where are you, Babel? Okay, we have Babel by R.F. Kuang. I've read The Poppy War and Yellowface. I haven't read the Poppy War trilogy, just the first one. But I really like her writing. I didn't like the main character in Poppy War as much. Like, I liked her, but not as much, you know? So I feel like Babel is going to be cool. I read 30 pages of Babel while the first semester of second year of university started. Couldn't concentrate. Had to stop it. But I will read it next year. Then we have The Hunger Games. I've never read The Hunger Games. I never watched the movies. I've managed to never get spoiled. I know what happens, okay? I know, like, tiny bits of things that happen, but I don't know anything, really. If you ask me, I know anything. Okay, then we have Caraval, which I'll have to change because for some reason I just picked it up and I'm eating it up right now at this point. So we'll just find I'll just find a pen. So there's no Caraval. I don't know which book to put, but maybe I'll put Legendary because it's the second book. I literally made this week. I literally made this list maybe 2 to 3 weeks ago, and randomly just picked Caraval without even thinking. And I'm really excited to read the trilogy, to read Once Upon a Broken Heart. So Legendary is another book I want to read. Then we only have 2 left. we have Crime and Punishment, which I have downloaded on my Kindle, and I should have read it this year, but I didn't. Simply did not happen. I didn't even open the book yet. I was really thinking about buying the Portuguese edition because it had a really good price, but when I went to my local bookshop, they didn't have it. So I was like, oh, I'm gonna read it on my Kindle. I feel like I really like the Dostoevsky translations to Portuguese, so we'll see if I buy the physical book in Portuguese. And the last book, which seems very cool, the name very cool, it's Divine Rivals, which I'm so excited to, because everybody has been talking about this book. Everyone is like, oh, you should read Divine Rival, or you should do that, or you should do this. Okay, I'm gonna try and do it. I think I'm gonna read it on my Kindle. Like a few books here I'm gonna read on my Kindle. The ones I have on my TBR obviously will read physically, but I don't want to spend too much money on books this year. By too much money, I mean I'm not gonna buy 100 books, obviously, because that's very expensive. But yeah, I also want to make very good uses of my Kindle. Here's my journal, my book journal. It is Pochaco as Buzz Lightyear. My king. But I feel like this is it. For today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Tell me some of the books you want to read in 2025. I'll probably work in a few reading vlogs if you guys want to give me like a few ideas for reading vlogs that include these books. I will be very happy to listen to them and to do them. So I'll probably see you next week. Bye.